You may have heard of Assassin's Convention by now, and in fact, it may be one of your favorite crazy game modes even. What you may also know is that since the card update, the developers have been quite reluctant on adding new roles that have no role tree. In fact, the aforementioned Assassin is the only one. But why not more of those types of roles? The ones that are a bit crazy, but would be so much fun in a dedicated crazy game mode setup. Alright, let's take a look at 5 crazy game mode ideas with their unique roles, all from the role contest.
Number 5. Hider and Seeker by Foodie Cell.
Who does not like a good old classic game called Hide and Seek? Well, if this role became a reality, then Wolvesville gets 2 new roles actually soon, namely the Hider and the Seeker. These roles cannot exist without each other, which is a downside of course, as the Seeker can only win if they find the Hider's button. You see, every night the Hider and Seeker can move around a button to an adjacent spot, and if at the end of the night the Hider and Seeker's buttons are on the same spot, then the Seeker wins. If the Hider wants to win, they need to get the Seeker lynched, like a headhunter pretty much. The Seeker knows who the Hider is, but the Hider does not know who the Seeker is. Both roles cannot be killed by the werewolves, and they are also solo with an unknown aura. If their Hider dies by any other means than the Seeker becomes a fool. The setup is okayish, but nothing really special. At most a bit chaotic, because there is also a headhunter in this setup, yes, but no actual solo killer. I rate this idea at a 6.5 out of 10.
Number 4. Tic-Tac-Toe Killer by Andy.
Tic-Tac-Toe, another small game that everyone has played, right? Right? Well, in Wolvesville it would be some sort of boss role actually, because it is a solo killer that is revealed on day 1 to everyone, but he cannot die by any means other than losing a game of tic-tac-toe. You see, every day he has to invite another player to play tic-tac-toe against at night, and you get 5 seconds to make a move. The tic-tac-toe killer always gets the first move, and if you don't respond in 5 seconds, you will die. This also counts for the tic-tac-toe killer himself. If the game ends in a tie, none of the players will die. Tic-tac-toe overrules roleblocks by the way, so jailing or nightmaring a participant or the tic-tac-toe killer himself won't be effective. Once again, the setup around it is okay, nothing really special, but the idea is pretty cool since the tic-tac-toe killer will have to be really good at this little game, and for the challenged player this is their chance to take down that boss type role. Night and also discussion phase should be 45 seconds each instead of the usual 30 and 60 seconds. This idea scored a 7.5 out of 10.
Number 3. Clown by Foodie Cell.
The clown seems very friendly at first, like actual clowns, as in the first 3 days it does nothing, but if it has not been killed by the end of day 3, then it will turn into a literal killer clown. From then on, you can namely kill 3 players every single night, and he cannot be doused by arsonists, neither can he be killed by werewolves, meaning that even the evils have to watch out for this evil clown. The setup does not make things easier either for the village, as it contains a clown, a fool, an arsonist, an alpha werewolf, a nightmare werewolf, and a shadow wolf. The only relief is that there's not really much claim space for the evils either, as most villagers are provable like Mayor and Flower Child, and there's also a vigilante. This is the type of setup that's basically based around abilities and not so much on social deduction. This idea would have ended first if it were not for the fact that the first kill at night is a random player, which is the wrong type of RNG in this case. On top of that, the setup has only 12 roles, meaning it is incomplete for that reason, but still it will get a 7.5 out of 10.
Number 2. A bunch of roles by Counterclockwise.
Well, here you have a reference back to the crazy game mode where we started this video with, Assassin's Convention. Counterclockwise decided to actually update and upgrade this game by adding a couple of different roles to this game mode. The concept of the game mode stays the same, but there are 6 new roles he would add, and honestly I think I would be more likely to play a game of Assassin's Convention as well if these roles ever came to the game. Crown Faker. Probably my least favorite one of the 6, because it's the most complex one and I don't really see the point of it. Basically you can once per game activate a fake crown, which makes the real crown for the following day not given but given a day later instead. And you can give your fake crown to someone else and they appear as invulnerable, but in fact they will instantly get voted out at the end of the voting phase. Crown Thief. Now this is a funny role that would actually be fun to play with. You can namely not participate in the hangman at night, but instead you will predict who wins the hangman that night. If you guess correctly, you will get the crown Assassin Killer. Another role that won't contest in the hangman, but instead you will get to kill a player each night. This gives you a lot of power, but the downside of power of course is that everyone wants to get rid of you. Nerd Lord. This is a creative role that gets a hidden crown from the start, and if you get voted out, the crown will be activated. If you win a game of hangman and your hidden crown has not been used yet, it will be replaced and it will replace said hidden crown. If the hidden crown gets activated, you can no longer get crowns from hangman either. King of Chats. Instead of winning crowns of nerds, you get crowns of chats, which won't save you from being lynched, but instead it gives you a double vote. King of Assassin. The final role of the 6, and this one is a banger, although there's an RG element to it as well. Instead of winning the crown of nerds or the crown of chats, you get the crown of assassins, which will give the illusion in the chat that nobody got the crown. What is better though than that is that upon using this crown on someone, a random player that voted that selected player will die instead of them. All in all, these 6 roles would shake up Assassin's Convention so much that we might as well call it Assassin's Convention 2.0. Would you like to see these roles in Assassin's Convention 2.0? Let me know in the comments. By the way, these ideas got an 8 out of 10.
Number 1. Lookalike Killer by Amastellair.
The Lookalike Killer is one of many ideas that combines a different game with a game of Wolvesville, but the execution here is top notch. The role is mildly exciting as you need to play memory at night by selecting 2 players and you get to see their exact role. If they share the same role, they die, otherwise they don't and you have another no-kill night, but a bit more info of course. That is not the most exciting stuff about this. What is though is that the setup is crazy. It comes with 7 roles that are doubled and 3 grave robbers and you. The werewolf fans and the grave robbers specifically are what makes this a very exciting game mode, because some players will switch their exact role throughout the game, which may throw dust in the eyes of the Lookalike Killer. On top of that, there are 2 fools in this game mode as well. The final yet important note is that if there are no doubled roles anymore, so there's only single roles, you can kill 1 player each night like an SK. This role and setup gets an 8.5 out of 10. Want to see more role contest content? I already uploaded 10 shorts with role ideas as well as the top 5 best role rework ideas. In a couple of weeks you will see the main top 10 video on the base and advanced roles contest, and I will tell you, you don't want to miss out on that. Subscribe for that and also for more cool Wolvesville stuff. Bye bye.
If you enjoyed this video, then I'm sure you will also love this one right here. So go click on it and tell them you came from this video. You can also subscribe and turn on the bell to never miss any new Wolvesville video anymore. Trust me, they only get better. I will then see you later and don't be a traitor. Goodbye.